Namaste, Alex. Can you please suggest who should do this 35-hour Pranayama and Breathwork course?
For this kind of program, it is someone who is open-minded. This is definitely not for everyone. It's someone who, one, is open-minded, one who is ready to learn, and three, maybe had some experience with breathwork and pranayama prior to this. It's very intensive. It requires dedication, mental endurance, physical endurance, and spiritual endurance. I recommend to be fully prepared before coming into this. I don't recommend it with someone who might have a severe mental disease, it's like psychotic disorders. This program can trigger a lot of emotions and can trigger a lot of good things, bad things as well. And we need someone who is prepared to be open at this kind of training. I also don't recommend it to someone who has high blood pressure, low blood pressure, who has not even had experience with breathwork before. Mainly, I'll give an example also is that I'm from California, and people think that breathwork is going to a coffee shop, having an event of like a breathwork with coffee and a social gathering. That's completely different. So breathwork and pranayama are totally different. Breathwork is increasing the sympathetic nervous system. It's not what we see in the Western world where we get to relax, lay down, have a cup of tea after. It's mental, physical work. And I really recommended this program for someone who has the capacity to be open-minded, to be ready for this kind of training.
Yeah. What do you think about the yoga teachers and the people who really want to teach others? How significantly you see for their learning perspective about this program?
Mm-hmm. Having done more than 5 to 6 yoga teacher training, this will advance your learning to one of its highest level in not just pranayama, but even just the yoga philosophy itself. I didn't just learn pranayama, and breathwork. I learned yogic roots, philosophy that I have never learned before, and honestly sometimes unlearned. I had to unlearn some things. As a teacher, this will really prepare you to feel confident, to know what you're teaching, to have the foundation to what you're teaching. I feel like before I had doubt if I was really teaching the right breathwork, and it did confirm that some of the things I was teaching were wrong, and I'm honest with that, and that's why I'm here. I came all the way here to Indonesia, Bali, to learn how to teach the right way, how to hold space for students, and how to teach a class effectively using the proper yogic philosophy.
And what is your overall experience in terms of emotion when you're practicing breathwork, and how you see the difference between pranayama and breathwork under this program?
Mm-hmm. What I experienced in this program is I really, even in the beginning, I really had to be open-minded that this is something I have never done before, and that I really have to be physically, mentally, and spiritually strong to do this kind of program. I also understood the difference between pranayama and breathwork, that in pranayama it's calming sometimes, mostly, but in breathwork it's really stirring up emotions, of past emotions, current emotions. It also stirred up a lot of energetic work that sometimes I had to be really prepared for. But again, this program has a guide for you to make sure that you're safe in that kind of manner.
Wonderful for sharing. We would expect you aligning more for our 50-hour training. Probably we are going to launch next year after having X number of passed out students 25 hours from Bali. And yeah, that's way if you want to highlight about learnings and for others to teach,
Mm-hmm.
would you suggest that going higher to 50 hours?
Yeah, I think I would highly suggest it for people who are ready to learn, ready to be open-minded, have some kind of knowledge prior to this. You really can't go into this program without knowing what pranayama is, or just have some. I highly suggest, if you've taken wherever you are 3 or 4 classes, it can be online, it can be in a studio, but have an idea what this is before coming in. This is not Saturday morning with yoga and coffee and like social event. This is not that kind of event. it's it's deep work, right? It's energetic work, spiritual work, body work, physical work.
Thank you for sharing. So, what do you think? Are you overall satisfied with the program, or any improvement you want to suggest?
I was really highly satisfied with the program. I knew it was going to be something like this. Just having experienced it from other teachers, I can definitely say that I feel confident as a nurse and a yoga teacher to bring this kind of learning, guiding to other, just people from normal walks of life. I feel very equipped as a yoga teacher in the Western world to teach a 60-minute or 75-minute class with pranayama in it, and whether it's restorative or vinyasa, I feel confident that I can bring it and show the real yogic roots with it.
We appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much for sharing for everyone.
Thank you.